Federal High Court grants bail to former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha. Political issues in focus as parties continue with the screening of aspirants. Plus, Customs signed concession agreement on e-operations. These and more on Panorama today. I am Tessie Omeri. You're welcome. The All Progressives Congress has commenced screening of its presidential aspirants ahead of the June 6th presidential primary. Already, 12 out of the 23 aspirants have appeared before the Presidential Screening Committee at Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. Salihu Guadara reports.
Screening is a critical and unavoidable pre-election process for aspirants seeking elective offices. Having concluded the screening of governorship, National Assembly and state houses of assembly aspirants, the All Progressives Congress is using the additional days provided by the electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, to do same for its presidential aspirants. Exactly 1 week to the APC Special Convention and Presidential Primary, the screening exercise is behind closed doors, but some of the aspirants shared their experiences.
Party supremacy is of utmost essence. You cannot force your way through a party structure.
And to be a very strict party member, you must abide by the party's rules and regulations. And I told them that anything that the party can do for us to serve Nigeria better by returning power and then improving the things that we have done, and giving them a new lease of life for it.
They say charity begins at home. I will never be a problem to my party.
We're here to work with the party. Whoever emerges as the candidate, I believe we'll be able to rally around and the party.
Anybody who is committed to the party, we do whatever the party requires to ensure party success.
As loyal party men, they expressed willingness to obey the party's position, mode of primary election that will be adopted. In Abuja, Salihu Guadara, NTA News.
And in the same vein, former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has emerged the presidential candidate of Labour Party. His emergence as the party's standard-bearer followed his victory at the presidential primaries of Labour Party held in Asaba, the Delta State capital. Tessie Koka has more.
A total of 104 delegates were accredited to vote in the exercise to elect one of 4 aspirants to be the standard bearer of the party in the 2023 general election. However, all contenders, Professor Pat Otomi, Emmanuel Tella Olabusola, and Faduri Oluwadaire, stepped down for Peter Obi. Pulled 96 votes to emerge the party's candidate. The Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress were on grants to lend their support. The Labour Party chieftain believes in a level playing ground for members. The exercise was adjudged peaceful and credible. In Asaba, Tessie Koka, NTA News.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the new voter authentication system, technological innovation adopted for conduct of elections in Nigeria, will guarantee credible and acceptable elections. Professor Yakubu disclosed this while monitoring mock accreditation in Ekiti State ahead of the governorship elections. Kola Adeboyui reports.
The ambience depicts that of election, but it is not. It is a mock accreditation for eligible voters in Ekiti State, organized by INEC to fight its arrangements for the crucial 18th governorship election in the state. The mock accreditation was conducted in selected polling units in Abuja, Igede, and Ikere to prepare voters for the D-Day.
It's a welcome development to all political parties in Nigeria for us to have a test of what we are expecting on June 18 in Ekiti State.
And in less than 10 minutes, the thing has been going on smoothly.
With less than 20 days to the election, INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says it is important to smoothen and strengthening arrangements to achieve a successful exercise and the mock accreditation through voter authentication system, a technological innovation adopted to guarantee credible and accessible elections.
From the Commission, you can see that we are leaving no stone unturned in order to be ready for the election. My visit to Ekiti this time around is part of our readiness. As far as INEC's preparations for the election are concerned, we're happy with the tremendous progress we have made so far.
The INEC chairman and other top officials of the Commission inspected facilities at the Commission's local government offices in the state. INEC enjoins members of the public to collect their voters' card and ensure the vote for the candidates of their choice without fear, as the Commission is intensifying efforts to tackle vote buying to enhance the credibility of the governorship election. In Ekiti, Kola Adebobuyi, NT News.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted bail to the former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, to the tune of 500 million naira and a surety in like sum. Justice Iyang Eko gave the order while delivering a ruling on the bail applications of the defendants in the matter. Okorocha is equally expected to deposit his international passport with the registry of the court. During the trial, the defendant cannot travel out of Nigeria without due notice and approval of the court. The court also granted bail to the second defendant in the matter, Anyim Nyewere, in terms of the administrative bail which he currently enjoys. Okorocha and others are facing trial of 17 counts charge bordering on conspiracy, stealing and conversion of public funds and money laundering to the tune of 3.1 billion naira. The case has been adjourned to November 2022 for trial. We now hand you over to our Lagos Network Center for the continuation of Panorama.
Tessie, Panorama continues from Lagos. The Accord Party has nominated members for various positions to contest in the 2023 general elections. Annie Daniels reports that the nomination was at the party's primaries held in Lagos.
Unlike what obtained in other party primaries, Accord Party had its primaries indoors.
Because we don't want people to come and stop. We don't want people to disturb so that we can do all what we want to do peacefully.
The other primaries going on simultaneously in all the 39 constituency, in all the 23 constituency. So we just concentrate. Those people that are finished, that can come, those are the people.
At the end, Party faithful nominated candidates for House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and the Senate. Honorable Hakeem Olaogu Dixon emerged the party's Lagos State governorship candidate.
We want to take it over with this Accord Party and hand over to the youth. But the youth cannot be able to do it by themselves. They need somebody who will be able to put them through training, through seminars, workshops, and see how they can be able to deal with House of Assembly, how to deal with people on top.
In other countries, the young ones are going into tech. So right now, it is high time we are able to pass some bills. Right now, we are able to make sure that, yes, the youth are able to take charge, not only in politics, but also in every sector of the economy.
Like the name, Accord Party nominated candidates and faithful promised Lagosians a better and sustainable Lagos if the party is given the mandate to pilot the affairs of the state in 2023. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
There is no indication that the 30th of June deadline for continuous voter registration will be extended by INEC. How well are people taking advantage of a last window opportunity? Let's hear from Kende at DBC.
Registration of eligible voters and updating voter register are some of the core duties of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. With the 2023 general elections just about a year away, the Commission's portal is still open for the continued voter registration. Online registration, according to INEC, closed 30th May, while the physical registration is still ongoing till 30th of June 2022. Nigerians are expected to take advantage of the final window. According to INEC's weekly update, over 18 million Nigerians have registered nationwide using both the online and physical registration mode, a step further to its 20 million prediction. Abdurrahman Ajao is one of those who have seized the opportunity to enroll.
I've registered for a long time, but the face is not clear and my name is not written fully. So I came to make corrections on that.
Some respondents who already have their PVCs encouraging other Nigerians to take advantage of the opportunity rather than wait for the last-minute rush.
Your number should also be part of those. At least you will have a clear conscience that you did your own part and you did your own. You did your civic responsibility, which is voting for whoever you want. So I think it's advice. I would advise everyone who has not gotten to please get it.
Apart from election, it is full. Take for instance in a bank, the demand for PVC or voters card, PVC or NIN is very good, and I want Nigerians to go for the as well. For those who have not done that, to go for it, and those who have done it, and then to keep it very well.
I have it already, but silent I misplaced it, and I'm about to register for now.
With the June 30th deadline for the continued voter registration, it is expected that more Nigerians will visit the portal to make needed amendments when necessary. In Lagos, Kende, DBC, and News.
All right, we have heard the background report. I have with me in the studio to talk more on the voter registration exercise, the resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Lagos, Mr. Segun Agbaje. Thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, so proud to this ongoing exercise in 2019, INEC captured about 84 million eligible Nigerians, while this exercise is projected to register about 20 million more. All right, so how is that going at the moment, especially in Lagos State?
Generally, across the country, I think it's going on smoothly, even though not as we had anticipated. And in Lagos also, I think we have a very huge online registration, but many people are not coming back to complete. And without completing, you cannot get your PVC.
Would you say the online registration is low?
It's not low. It's not low, even though it's a projection that we should have about 20 million. But then we know that many people, this exercise is only covering those that are registering afresh, not all those who are transferring or those who are changing their PVC for one reason or the other.
Okay, when you talk about completing the exercise, what do you mean?
I mean that to come and do the capturing. That is both the facial and then the other the fingerprint.
Okay, do you think what your staff are doing is kind of deterring them from coming to complete? Is there any kind of delay when they come to complete their bio?
There is no delay. In fact, when I got to the office this morning, I met 10 people at our own head office.
Okay.
We have some people where I stayed outside, and we have about 6 points that we are doing it. So they can't.
And they are very fast.
They are very fast with it. Okay. People are coming, going out, and I believe before I even get the document finished.
Okay. Now, when are those who applied for transfers, replacements of defaced or lost PVCs, correction and maybe update of information in the first and second phases from June to December 2021 going to get their PVCs? Because information available reveals that only new registrants PVCs for this period are available.
Only those who did transfer have not gotten their own PVCs, but those whose cards were defaced, broken or lost, their PVCs have also arrived along with those ones that we did in the first and second quarter last year.
Okay, and that is not just for Lagos, but the whole of the country?
Across the country.
Okay, so those who have gone to make the necessary corrections can come to go to any INEC
our local government offices
to collect their PVCs.
We are the registered.
Okay.
And we are also moving around, even with our senior rover, moving around across various local governments in the state. So the job of voter education is that of INEC, but other areas, other people, even politicians, they have roles to play. Political parties, they have roles to play because these are the end beneficiaries of these things that we are doing. So they need to tell their people because there is no point having people to come and do registration. Your PVCs are ready, you are not coming to collect it, or you have collected the PVC and you are not going to use it. It doesn't matter. So the politicians are being told and being reminded that as the end users of all these things, activities we are carrying out, they should let their people know that if we see about 5,000 people following them during campaign, if on the day of election they say they are only seeing 1,000, then they have no electoral value to them. So they should also encourage them not only to register, collect their people, but also to mobilize them to come out and vote on election day.
Okay, so sir, why do you think people will go the extra mile to register and, not come to collect?
I really don't know, because when the commission felt that after 25 years, people have been complaining, we thought it was a sort of apathy that the polling units were far from them, here and there. So the commission, after 25 years, last year, came together and we have to get new polling units. That all the voting points we have been using from 2011 were converted to polling units, which made us to have more polling units across the various parts of the country. Okay. In Lagos State, we had about 8,000 plus. Now we added about additional 4,000 plus.
So you have 12,000.
13,000 plus in Lagos State.
Okay.
In fact, before we had 8,464.
Okay.
Then after the exercise, we had 4,861. Now we are having 13,325 polling units in Lagos State, which is the largest in the country. Okay. So we don't see why we should not, because as they are registering or transferring, they are being made to see polling units very close to their residences. Exactly. So that they can also key into that one and also register there. So that on election day, it's not going to be a problem of the past that the polling unit is far from us. Great agencies are not going to allow us to pass through one area or the other. So that has been removed. So I don't see why in 2023 we should now have more people to come and vote on election day.
Okay. Now let's talk about the June 30, 2022 deadline. Is it sacrosanct? Some Nigerians may be expecting a shift in the deadline,
The commission has come out with a program of activities between now and the election day next year. So if you are saying that you want to move any of these events, it's likely going to affect others. Because by the time we finish on the 30th of June, we are going back to the office to carry out the AVs, which is going to allow us to look at it. Because in the past, we only use fingerprints. But now we use both the facial and fingerprints. So if by the time we are looking at it, those who have registered before, that was why in January this year, the commission was able to come out to those who did illegal registration. That is double or multiple registration. And all those who are removed.
Yes.
In fact, Lagos State had the list that time. We had about 28% of our registrants removed. Okay. In some other states, we have areas where we about 67% were even removed, like in Bayelsa. So, because many people are just registering, and then at the end of the day, you find out that double registration or multiple registration. So the commission is going back to do all this before printing the new cards, and then before getting them back to the various states, before we start asking people to come and collect them. Okay,
quickly, you're talking about the facial and the fingerprint. So at the point of election, if the fingerprints doesn't show, will they use the facial?
Use the facial.
So that makes it easier for electorate.
That's the advantage of the new system.
Okay, beautiful. Now, perhaps many still do not know the importance of being registered, to vote. What would be your advocacy at this time?
My advocacy is that for you to be able to participate in choosing the leader that you want, you must have your PVC. And then not just having it, then you must be able to come out on election day to come and cast your vote for the candidate of your choice. That is when you can now say we have a government. Because if you don't participate, if there's any problem in future, you have no say to say that the government is bad or the government is not good. You cannot complain. You can only complain if you participated in it when they were doing it. And then you can now compare, we voted this government in. Why is the government doing this or government doing that? But you can only say that if you participated in the exercise while the exercise was on.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking on continuous voter registration and citizens' participation in the 2023 general election. And the Resident Electoral Commissioner of Lagos State, Mr. Segun Agbaje, has been our guest on Panorama. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're still watching Panorama on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We'll take a short break. We'll return thereafter. Do stay on.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Mobilization effort of the Nigerian Navy is on a steady course with the arrival of a new landing ship tank NNS Kada in Lagos after a successful maiden voyage. At a reception for the ship, Chief of the Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo says the acquisition of the defense vessel will enhance effective protection of a nation's economic maritime domain. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
I am standing on the main deck of NNS Kada, the newest addition to the Nigerian Navy naval fleet. The early morning sun was still bathing the waters when the ship, having completed a voyage of 8,414 nautical miles, arrived the shores of Lagos into the waiting hands of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo.
Receiving the ship and her crew at the jetty of the Western Naval Command, Lagos, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo said induction of NNS Kada into the Nigerian Navy fleet will not only enhance the nation's deterrence capability against maritime crimes and illegalities within our domain and Gulf of Guinea, but also serve as a force multiplier to project power and respond to humanitarian crisis.
Like you know, the National Maritime Bureau has delisted Nigeria from piracy-prone countries on the 3rd of March this year, and we must continue to sustain effort to maintain the feat so far achieved.
Global best practices demand that at least 40% of the cost of this ship should be made available for yearly maintenance, and that has to be appropriated by the National Assembly.
The maiden voyage, which emanated from Abuja Damen Shipyard, Sharjah, United Arab Emirates, lasted about 56 days at sea with 5 port calls en route.
It has been wonderful, remarkable, and very rewarding. You can see the morale of the ship company very high, and we are looking forward to what comes next.
A multi-purpose landing ship tank, man of war NNS Kada, acquired as a replacement for NNS Ambe and NNS Ophium, 2 defense ships decommissioned about 10 years ago in Lagos. Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Sports update next.
Following their arrival in New Jersey from Dallas on Sunday, 3-time African champions Super Eagles of Nigeria have stepped up preparations for their friendly match with Ecuador slated for Thursday evening, as well as next month 2023 qualifying matches against Sierra Leone and Mauritius. The focus of the training sessions was on close control, space management, and clinical finishing.
We always want to give our best when it's friendly and in competitions. And right now we are just ready to focus on the game against Ecuador to make sure we come out with a good one.
Back home in the Nigeria Professional Football League, table toppers Rivers United will attempt to extend its lead points on the log when the team takes on Plateau United in one of the midweek encounters. MFA will try to move away from drop zone in an away mission to Aqua United. It will be a Southwest derby as Shooting Stars host Remo Stars. In another news, women football development in Nigeria is receiving the support of Turkan Energy for discovering and nurturing budding talent. This assurance emanated from the visit of the chairperson of football in Nigeria, Aisha Falode, to the office of the oil and gas outfit.
Expanding the games and making more operations for our young women is central.
We have received
In badminton, it was a landslide victory for badminton section of the curriculum 1938 At the 2022 quadrangular game, the pair of Sabo and Ayo of the Club defeated their counterparts Inka and Abdul from Kwara State 2-1 in the keenly contested Group A doubles final, among other results.
We practice here every day. So we mastered the place and we won the game.
Shows that we're number one and we will remain number one in the game of badminton in Nigeria.
Winners in all categories smiled home with trophies and gift items. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NT News.
And that's it in Panorama today. Before we go, remember that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Adeola Komia Kiri. Enjoy the rest of your day.